And let's say good morning to Jordan Giorgio down on the court side. Hey, Jordan.
Hey, guys. Good morning. Now, this is a game that DMV Hoop fans have had circled on their calendar for quite some time, as they'll get to watch one of the top defensive programs in our area go up against the top prospect in the entire state of Maryland. Patriot High really prides themselves on being one of the best defensive teams in the area, led by Cadence Bates. He's one of the reasons this team has played exceptionally well this season. 6 steals in his last game for Cadence. Impressive right from the outside looking in, but for Patriot head coach Sherman Rivers, he tells me, no, this is just another day in the life of Cadence. Meanwhile, for Largo, all eyes will be on sophomore Cam Ward, currently ranked as the top prospect in the state of Maryland for his class. He's 6'6", but get this, he plays guard, so you don't really see that a whole lot in high school basketball, especially in public schools, because typically those top private schools will swoop that talent up. However, Cam's dad happens to be the head coach of Largo, and that's Rodney Ward, so he wasn't going to let that talent go anywhere, and I wouldn't either, guys.
Thank you, Jordan. And Largo, the home team here at DeMatha High School. Beautiful gymnasium here hosting this terrific event. We also have one game over at Capital One Arena coming up a little bit later. And we have tipped it off, Jimmy. This is a full day of high school basketball.
You know, I started my career, my first job I ever had was at Carroll High School, so clearly DeMatha, the big rival. You're talking Morgan Wooten, James Brown, Adrian Dantley, all the... That's what the parents know. But you got Victor Oladipo and Markel Fultz, who's in town tonight for the Magic. For Largo and Patriot, that's a big deal to come here to DeMatha and play, let alone now you're on TV. But also, this is a little Virginia versus Maryland. In other words, there's a little rivalry here. Because it's tough to schedule and there's Christmas games and all that, you don't get to play this type of game very often.
Handoff inside, Cam Ward misses. Largo, the Lions in the all-white uniforms with the blue trim, and the Patriot Pioneers in the all-red.
Yeah, the Patriots, look, this is a team that has 5 guys in double figures, and I mentioned this before. They're 26-1 last year and get beat in the semifinals. You want to go to Richmond and cut down the nets at the Siegel Center at VCU. That's how the state tournament. Here, it's go to College Park and cut down the nets. Well, Largo has 2 state titles for a reason. But the Patriots are trying to establish themselves as one of the great teams in Virginia. And Coach Rivers has done a fantastic job, but they're going to be a lot more balanced, whereas Cam Ward, there's a reason. Look, Maryland, everybody in the country wants him for a reason, okay? He's a sophomore. But he's still only a sophomore, folks. So he's not going to just carry the load by himself. But it's going to be about 5 Patriot high school players kind of versus Largo's Cam Ward and his supporting cast.
And maybe a little nerves here early. The sensational sophomore Ward has missed a couple of shots. No score here a couple of minutes in. And, of course, a little bit different of a tip time, too, 10 a.m. And the putback underneath by Isaiah Vick, his first 2 this morning. And a quick turnover and a whistle on the floor. And the head coach for the Patriot Pioneers, Sherman Rivers.
And he's a really, really, really good coach, but he's also got his father on the bench who's been around a long time, too. They have built this program up. You know, they have 2 losses. They lost to Middleton in Delaware, who's like the #1 ranked team, and they lost to Hayfield, that's a bigger school. He has really done a fantastic job of building this program. Largo, on the other chance, by the way, Cam Ward's mother's the women's basketball coach there, too. That's just a strong PG County tradition. So it's kind of the new versus the old here. But you better get back on defense if you're Largo.
Christian Ware scores, and then right back down the court with an answer for the Patriot Pioneers, who check into this game 14-2, ranked 10th in the metro area out of Nokesville, Virginia. Ball out of bounds, and it looks like it goes back to... Nope, they're going to switch the call and back to the Largo Lions. And here's that last bucket. Christian Ware, the freshman guard, to the rim.
Yeah, he's a dynamite. They got a freshman and sophomore. And, you know, Largo also, by the way, don't be fooled. King's a really good player. He's being recruited by football teams. He can go Old Dominion to Morgan State to Coastal Carolina. He's a football player, and we know that that means that he's tough out there. He's also a real asset for them. But if you're wondering what he's doing in basketball, he is going to go play football in college.
Cam Ward, step-back jump shot, front rim, and you're talking about Andre King, Jimmy. 12 interceptions, 4 of those for touchdowns on the football field. So he has an eye for the ball.
I'm telling the Ravens about him right now.
Ward bottled up inside by Jay Randall. And a jump ball called, and it'll go over to the Pioneers. And there's the head coach, Rodney Ward, for the Largo Lions, 9-5 this season in his 6th season. And all 4 assistant coaches down there on the Largo Lions bench all played in this program. And so a lot of pride at Largo.
Look, and I thought Jordan made a good point. In the old days, the PG, remember Walt Williams, you know, you could go down the line from Suitland to Friendly to all the players out of Duval, High Point, Oxon Hill, and of course Largo. They were numerous and too many to count, including the coach Monty Williams of the Phoenix Suns and Walt Williams, the legendary player at Maryland. It's changed. To have really good players stay in the public school system when the high schools are recruiting. Jordan makes a good point. That's a rarity, and that's a great thing. And I actually like it for Ward because he gets to grow on his own, be around his own guys, and remember, he's only a sophomore.
Nazir Coleman knocking down the jumper, first team All-State last season at point guard. And how about the recruiting job of Rodney Ward? Getting his son to sign up and play here for the Largo Lions. Talked about Cam's mom and Rodney's wife, who is the head coach on the girls' side. And Yana does a terrific job with that program, but it is all basketball in the Ward family.
And you know where it starts. I'm old school. Back at the Urban Coalition, back at Dunbar in D.C. This is old school D.C. Charlie Ball, his grandfather, was a famous referee, like infamous referee, college level, did a little pros. But that's where that started. So it goes all the way through his grandfather. But here's the deal. Largo, you know they're going to play tough because they're from PG County. And you know they're going to try to make this game a little faster. I think the Patriots, although they came in fast break there, the Patriot high school team might want a little bit of defense from the Pioneers. I think the Lions would like to push the pace. And there they go, doing it.
A knocked out jumper for Andre King. And let's go down courtside and check in with Jordan.
Thanks, guys. Pretty awesome what the Washington Wizards and NBC Sports Washington, of course, are doing, giving these young men the stage by broadcasting today's basketball day in the DMV. A game that Largo head coach Rodney Ward didn't tell his kids was going to be on TV till the very last minute. He told me that if he would have told his team last week, they would be like a little kid before Christmas. May lose a bit of focus as they still had some games before today to prepare for. But I would have loved to be a fly on the wall when he revealed that surprise.
Yeah, that's great stuff, like a little Christmas present post-Christmas, Jimmy. And this team, Largo, they went in Thursday night and beat up on Crossland, a 45-point win. And then after that win, Coach told his team they'd be on TV today. And you see maybe the nerves settling a bit. The three there by Andre King, who, by the way, is really good in the classroom as well. A 3.9 GPA for that young man.
You know, it's just that's in transition. That's one of the, Kevin Glover, great. He helped Maryland too. He's another football guy who also really helped Mike Slockley when he got the job. Kevin Glover's like a ambassador mentor for that, so that just goes to show you where that comes from. And I'm telling you something about this Largo team. They'll run, they'll hit it in transition. But I do want to talk to you, Brent, about the TV thing. Hey, they act like they're cool, and the young guys that, no, they haven't been on this type of TV before. And you know you get butterflies, so they're probably feeling a little nerves. But in the end of the day, they're so excited to be here.
Largo with the basketball, off the miss. One thing that head coach Rodney Ward told us this week, he said, just don't beat yourself. That's what he preaches to his team. Take care of the basketball. Don't make those mental mistakes. And right now, Largo down 1-6-5 in the first quarter.
Yeah, and it's going to take a little while to shake out. You know, like I said, Cam Ward's only a sophomore. By the way, he plays for Team Durant, and this is where the modern game, it's just who do you play for? Vic plays for DC Premier and Damon. You know, there's Team Durant, there's Takeover, there's Team Thrill up in Baltimore. That's, when you talk about young men today, especially at the higher level recruiting, it's not only what high school do they play for, but what AAU team. And so there's a lot of little rivalries in this game that people don't really realize in the basketball world how much they mean.
Floater is put up, rattles around, can't go, and Cam Ward is there for the follow. And Cam Ward is a do-it-all player. He leads this team points and rebounds, assists, blocks, steals. At halftime, I'll sell you popcorn and a soda. He has been amazing as just a sophomore. Here he is out in front, and a throwdown for Cam Ward.
And he also caused that turnover. That was a little 1-3-1 extended defense. And the Patriot Pioneers didn't like it. Largo just got him there, all of a sudden they came out. And Cam Ward, at his length and size, when he's at the top of the 1-3-1, as you said, Brent, he does a little of everything. He just caused that turnover, which led to the dunk on the other end.
4 points for the sophomore guard. And take another look, Jimmy. Just has it underneath, controls it, and sends it home.
You see, and that's why, guys, he's being recruited at such a high level. You know, it doesn't look like it's all there right now. That's because he's only a sophomore, a true sophomore. And by the way, we'll go into that later, where some guys are reclassing and PGing, and sometimes you get freshmen that are 19 and 20. He's a true sophomore, and he's doing that.
Jump ball on the scrum on the floor, and it'll stay with the Patriot Pioneers. Off to a great start this year. You mentioned, Jimmy, 26-1 last year. They lost 3 seniors from that team a year ago. This is a team that has won 6 straight district titles and had that epic battle against Battlefield High School that would have sent them to the States. That's kind of the goal this year, to get back into that position as they get a bucket underneath.
I talked to Coach Rivers. They had played Battlefield 5. That was the 5th time they played them. And that's why I said, scheduling's quirky now. You don't have as much freedom as you used to have, because you have to play, you know, county games and state games, and you can't travel as much. When you public schools are at a little bit of a disadvantage because they don't have the freedom like the privates to play in all these extra tournaments. So Coach Rivers, look, he's done an amazing job. That's a big school, 2,200. But look how new it is, 2011. You know, Largo's won 5 state championships before that. They've won 2 under Coach Ward. What he's done a good job of Coach Rivers, is building the program and then understanding that the goal is to get guys to the next level. That means to play in college, whether it's football. He was really adamant about, you know, just making sure his players get to the next college situation, whether it's in sports or academics. But you also want to win the state title. He lost to Battlefield in the 5th time. He beat him 4 times last year. And that's how the state tournament runs. But this Patriot Pioneer team, they can play really good defense. They're a little balanced. And to lose 3 seniors and have 5 guys come back with 5 guys in double figures, that's why this is going to be a really good team.
Pace picking up. Kai Wilcox hit the 3 for the Patriots. Jalen Johnson with a quick answer. That pass underneath, and the miss inside for the Patriots, and a whistle on the floor.
What I like that Coach Rivers did there is he talked to his team about how to attack this 1-3-1. The downside of having Ward, it's obviously an advantage, Ward with his length at the front of it. The downside is his size is in the back. So I think Rivers said either get it to the glass and put it up, or draw the defense and kick for a 3. Really good coaching adjustment there.
Makai Dillard at the foul line, knocks down his first free throw. Talk about that run that Patriot Pioneers had last year. The motto this year is leave no doubt. Beating Battlefield 4 times, but it was the loss that could have sent them to the States that has sat with this team. And that has been the goal, to get back into that position again this season. And a big matchup, by the way, playing Gainesville last night. And a lot of these teams, quick turnaround, right? Game on Thursday, Friday, and then a 10 a.m. showdown here on Saturday morning.
Really good passing against the defense right there. You got to get that a little quicker there. Brady Page there, but good adjustment there, passing against this 1-3-1 3/4 court. That's an old school mentality, so I really like that.
Foul was called on Sean Johnson early here into his bench. Big rotation.
You know, when
14-11 lead, by the way, for the Patriots.
Yeah, and that's when you hear, Brent, that he graduated 3 seniors, and that's if you go to your rotation. And I always felt playing more guys. Nice backdoor cut by Ward. See, and 1. That's why Ward's being so highly recruited. Nice pace of the game. You know, even though he's young, a little lanky, goes back door, which is the right play, and then patient shot fake and 1. That's a lot of poise right there. But what the Pioneers have going for them is it's really 2011 is incredible that's how new the school is. Yet Coach has a system going where a couple guys leave, a couple guys step up, double figures scoring. Here we go. That's the continuation of a good program, not just because I had one good player. I had one good year.
Ward missed the foul shot, and when the loose ball goes out of bounds, and Largo retained possession. Talking about Cam Ward, he's already being highly recruited as a sophomore. Maryland, Georgetown, GW, George Mason, Virginia Tech, Illinois, and the list goes on and on. There'll be a lot more you can add to that list over the next couple of seasons.
Yeah, Coach Musselman, Eric Musselman, has 3 All-Americans, high school McDonald's All-Americans in Arkansas. That's the highest level to get players at. He's been in that gym to watch him play too. So, but I hope the local guys win. But when you start getting nationally recruited, and there's no better place to talk about that at DeMatha, not everybody wants to stay local because you grew up around here. Hunter Dickinson was just here. Oh, I like his family. I've known him. He's a little Lex Luthor, but that's all right. It's good for TV. Sometimes you want to stay close. Sometimes you've been around here so long, you want to go try a place like Michigan. So it'll be interesting to see how Cam Ward's recruitment elevates as he becomes older and better.
Cam Ward, 6.7 rebounds here in the first quarter. Good start for him. Averages nearly 27 points a ball game. He averages a double-double, 10 rebounds as well. Patriots.
Go ahead. No, Brett. Go ahead.
Patriots with the basketball. Shot is missed, and Cam comes down with a rebound. And out of bounds, and it'll go back to the Patriots.
Largo's running and jumping out of their 2-3 zone. I like what they're doing. A little 1-3-1 pressure to start, a little 2-3 run and jump. They're just trying to create pace. And Jordan talked about this in her opening statement. The Pioneers are a little more conservative, a little more balanced, and a little more defensive-minded. Largo, we might want to run and gun and get a little hectic tempo, which when I coach, that's my style too. But they're changing defenses, giving different looks, but they're trying to get their defense to create offense.
Patriot Pioneers, a lot of depth, a lot of balance as well. We talked about all the players that score in double figures. Their leading scorer, Desmond Hopkins, at 11.8, but they've got 4 other guys that score 10, 11 points a ball game. End of the quarter, wow, Cam Ward just missing from mid-court, and an exciting opening quarter here at DeMatha High School. Patriot Pioneers and the header today at 11:40 North Carolina.
And Patrick being they had plays, and there's no reason to. Let's put it out there. The Catholic League of D.C. is the strongest league in the country. Combined with Baltimore's Catholic League, Mount St. Joseph, there's no stronger area in the country. I go all around the country. IMG came up here and lost to St. John's. You're talking about Paul VI, Bishop O'Connell, all these other schools, of course, DeMatha, and then Steve Turner, Gonzaga. A monster league, but St. John says, we'll play another tough game. See, that's what's great about the D.C. Catholic League combined with the Baltimore Catholic League. That's very different from these two teams. These two teams don't have the freedom. And I think the state legislation, not that it should change, but maybe we'll be a little more flexible. Because when you have a really good team like the Pioneers or a guy like Cam Ward, maybe let them go play 1 or 2 of these outside your region games against the private school. And that's where then kids would stay more in their local situations, because it's almost become like college for the DeMatha and the St. John's, because they're so well known and they're tied to shoe companies. I'm a full disclosure, I'm an Under Armour guy. This is Nike, Under Armour, Adidas. And this is the Mecca center of the country, this basketball area, Brett. I'm around it. When you travel, you say you're from the DMV, they turn heads in Los Angeles, Chicago, Fort Lauderdale, New York. They're like, wow, you guys are what we look up to. That's why this is a tremendous day.
So rich in tradition and so exciting, too, because the district gets the spotlight, but you also have teams from North Carolina, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, well represented in this area, but also bringing in some schools that are some big-time names and programs into the district for this really just a hoops galore, right?
Yeah.
A day of basketball, which is going to be so fun.
Yeah, and it is basketball day in the DMV, but to have outside schools, but those outside schools, they want to come here and play the best. They know there'll be college coaches, but they also know it's a lot of street cred when you said, I went to D.C. and played. Oh, we got to go beat DeMatha or St. John's. This is a big deal around the country. Sometimes when you're here, right, you get a little used to it. But I'm just telling you, the swagger and the street cred you get when you go around the country saying you're from the DMV, it's incredible.
Jay Randall had the last bucket and then a steal, and he's got a busy day because head coach Sherman Rivers putting Jay Randall right on Cam Ward, and so he's got to play both ends of the floor. Let's first take a look at the basket from Randall.
Yeah, he's got that defensive assignment, and you know Ward's going to get some of his. But what I like is he's playing both ends of the court, and that's why it's a 3-point game. And there's a reason they went 26-1 last year. That's about culture and coaching in my mind.
So far, 4 steals for each team here this morning. And Jay Randall, not only a great defender, but he takes more charges than anybody else on this Pioneers team. Loose ball, cross midcourt, picked up. Shot clock at 1. The shot from half court, no good. And Cam Ward brings down the rebound. There were 2 Pioneers in the area, but Ward comes up with it.
And you can tell, you can tell with guys diving on the floor and the intensity out there right now that this means so much to the young players. Now they're running a little flex cut. That's a little out of bounds flex play, but instead of the cut, they curled it. Nice rebound. Yeah, see, that's a good rebound. Go to the offensive glass. Good things happen. That's a big John Wooden thing. Offensive glass, you either get fouled or you score it. Good things happen when you offensive rebound.
Randall following the Coleman miss. Jay Randall leading this Pioneers team in rebounds this season. He'll go to the foul line and shoot 2. 16-13 here in the second quarter on the court of DeMatha High School.
And I bet by the second half of this game, it's a lot, you know, here comes the crowd, the buzz. And by the way, we're going to talk about Glen Elk and Clinton Park and their histories, too, which are really good. Noah Batchelor from Maryland, Chase Paratowers, and they both went to Glen Elk. Clinton Park's had a long story. So as the day rolls, I think this place is going to get A, more crowded, and B, it's not just the average fan that's coming. It's the real deal. See college coaches rolling in here today, too.
It's a fantastic finish from Andre King, and then the Pioneers answer with a triple from Desmond Hopkins. The junior guard knocking down the long-range shot. Start with King and his terrific take.
See, King takes it, but there's lefty Hopkins going up. See, that's the Steph Curry Warrior stuff. That's where the game's changed.
Got it go.
Yeah, and that's the Splash Brothers, and I say that because they were here on MLK Day and beat the Wizards in a really good game. See, once again, he's open, let it fly, and there it goes.
And another back-to-back triples. Knocked out for Desmond Hopkins. We just talked about that pressure and the trapping defense of the Pioneers.
Yeah, their defense is starting to turn them into an offense. They're using their defense. They're not pressing, but they're just getting turnovers. You see, that's a great play by Vic. Vic won't get the credit for that. I mean, he'll get an assist, but he not only steals the ball, but he makes the quick open pass for the wide open 3.
Ward can't connect. Desmond Hopkins right now leading the Pioneers after those 2 triples. He's got 6 points for Patriot, and Cam Ward will go to the foul line to shoot a couple.
See, those are the guys you love coaching, like Hopkins. Like, you know, we have the scouting report. We do Bates. We talk to the coach. We know Vic. He's Michael Vick's nephew. You know, he's a really good player. You know, you got a couple guys playing football. Well, we didn't really talk about Hopkins. Meanwhile, he's got 6 points. He's left-handed, which is hard to guard. And he looks like one of those glue guys, and that's why they win a lot of games. But that's real balance. You know, Largo, they're young, too. They were freshmen from card playing. Ward's a sophomore. You know, they're a younger team. But now here they go with a 2. This is like a 2-2-1 kind of matchup. They're going to pressure it.
A little pressure from head coach Rodney Ward and the Lions. Cam Ward now 8 points, 9 rebounds, closing in on a double-double. And how about a block? You can add that to the stat sheet for this sensational sophomore.
Yeah, and that's why he's being recruited at such a high level, because he can do a little of everything, and that's what you want. You one day want to blossom into a star, but before you come Kevin Durant, you got to do a little of everything, and he's doing it. That's a tough shot if that goes. I didn't think that was going to go.
Hopkins comes up short on the jumper and out of bounds, and back to the Largo Lions. 24-17, Patriot in the lead here. Second quarter, just inside 5 minutes left.
Now they're just kind of picking up full court. The Pioneers are just picking up full court just to make sure they don't get anything cheap. You know, now, that's a good pass by Ward. There's a hockey assist by Ward. Oh, nice passing by Largo.
To the rim, floater no good. Christian Ware.
And he's a look, he's a freshman. That you think about a freshman playing, I couldn't even wouldn't even be near varsity team when I was in high school. And he's starting, so this is where Largo's got a future that's so bright with this young team.
Very young team, and not a single senior in the starting lineup for Largo. Knocked down Cam Ward. Got a junior, 2 sophomores, and 2 freshmen who start for Rodney Ward's squad.
Yeah. See, that's where, everybody wishes they had a lot of things. You wish you had a shot blocker in the back. But if you don't, Ward up front is causing havoc because we love local basketball. But that's why the big boys are recruiting him right there, because that finish.
No shot on the floor. Whistle before. And the call to the floor, I believe, is a travel against Cam Ward. Is it? No, it's going to stay Largo. They called a foul.
And now you have to execute your out of bounds.
It's on the floor, though, before the shot. So out of bounds play.
Our little zone, they're staying in the man-to-man. I thought it looked like the Pioneers might have been playing zone out of bounds, but
Christian Ware extends it, uses the pick from Cam Ward to the rim. Floater just misses.
He split the trap, and it was a great shot. It just didn't go. Now, if you're Largo, you got to get back on D.
Quick shot for the Pioneers inside. Rebound. The hoop. And the whistle.
Has a little bit of bad luck there, you see. I think if you watch this replay when this comes up.
What a play inside here by Cadence Bates, following the Bates miss.
I don't know if that was blocked or shot, but that had remnants of the Wittenberg to Wittenberg to Lorenzo Charles at NC State. Everybody turned their head. I think you got a piece of that, and it looks like a good play. I'm not sure you got that blocked. But, for Bates to catch it and follow up and then get the and one, the old basketball god, sometimes you get a little bad bounce if you're the Patriot, if you're the Largo team. On the other hand, the Pioneers are just, they're scrappier than I thought. They do a lot of little stuff. I knew they were a good team until you see somebody like flying around on that three.
Triple outside. Jalen Johnson knocks it down for the Largo Lions. 5-point game at 27-22.
Lions just not going. The Lions are not going away. That's good defense.
Long three missed by Abe Halim. Largo comes up with it, a fast break,
nice
pushing
pass.
the tempo to the rim, and the follow is good. Credit Jalen Johnson with a follow, tip in, and the hoop.
I think they're going to give that to Ward. Now he's going to block Santa off that. I love the tempo.
Let's take a look at this Largo run, and first from outside, a long-range triple. Jalen Johnson showing off the range, and then the steal, the push ahead, and the great follow of the offensive board. Jalen Johnson, by the way, coming off 29 points in a win on Thursday night against Crossland.
That's Walt Williams' old school Crossland right there, by the way.
Had 7 threes in that game for Jalen Johnson, but you could also see what he could do inside. But
I like Jalen Johnson left-handed making threes, but I thought Ware's making this team go as a freshman. He's had a couple of runners that didn't go, but he makes the right pass. His hands are good on defense. He's going to be a tremendous point guard down the road. So you're talking about a freshman here playing in this big game. He got a good feel for the game. Now they're letting Ward bring the ball up and play the point.
So Ward sets up just across the logo there at midcourt.
You're going to see the Pioneers
the double team.
Yep.
Three-pointer. Christian Ware knocks it down. The freshman. Grew up close friends with Cam Ward, now playing on the same high school team together, freshman and sophomore. Ward
nice pass.
To King and back to Ward. And you can tell those two have great chemistry on the basketball court.
Yeah, you're not taking the ball from King. That's why he's a football player. He's tough. Hey, it's a charge. Yep. So all of a sudden, see, and I think Ward was a little nervous when he started, by the way. So here's the three-pointer from King, right? Yep. So, see, here's Ward showing his maturity. He just passed out of a double team and took a charge. In other words, that's 2 unselfish plays. Hey, maybe I'm the star. Maybe I'm supposed to take all the shots. No way. Double team, I'll make the easy play and pass it, coach's son. Now he's throwing the ball long out of bounds. Great play.
That was pinpoint. My goodness, what a pass from Cam Ward. King couldn't finish. Pioneers with the basketball spin move. Jump shot on the fadeaway, no good. And Cam Ward comes down with the rebound. He's going to push tempo all the way to the rim, and a charge against Ward.
I didn't like that. That's not in today's college, let alone the NBA. That's an N1. But It's okay. It's high school. Sometimes they look at the game still a little differently.
Jay Randall averages about picking up 3 charges a game. That's pretty phenomenal at the high school level.
Yeah, you're laying it out for your team. You know, Randall's just proving that he's a all-around player. Like I said, he's doing most of the dirty work because they don't have the biggest team out there. He's the biggest guy. What I liked about Ward is anybody that, nice back door.
Man, what a cut and a finish for Jay Randall. These two have been back and forth, and we have a tie ball game at 29. $1:30 left here in the second quarter. Dribble drive for Ware. Oh, the hesitation. Can't finish.
Yeah, tough shot there. Oh, nice hustle back on defense right there. That's sprinting back on D. Instead of wondering why he didn't get a shot, he just sprinted back and said, I'll get that steal. What I was going to say before is you could take a 30-second snapshot of Cam Ward there and show it to anybody in the country who's been recruited. He scored an and one. He made a pass out of a double team and took a charge. That's when I used to like recruiting for Gary Williams. I'd say, I just need you to watch this 30 seconds. And Gary would say, all right, we'll take him.
Off the loose ball and picked up from Jalen Johnson, who gets an easy 2 and a lead for Largo, 31-29, final minute here in the second.
Yeah, Largo's showing they got a little more bench than I thought. Nice play there. Yep. See?
Travel
nice
call against Abe Halim.
That's Ware right there, Brent. That's Ware getting his hands in there and causing the travel. They're being disruptive on defense right now, Largo.
One thing Coach Rodney Ward told us, he said, with a team that you're trying to build, a young team, right, starting 2 freshmen and two sophomores, he said you're trying to fly and build the plane at the same time, right? It's part of the growing pains of a young team, and you're starting to see it now mid-season to develop a little bit as they gain some confidence.
Yeah, and that's why he has 2 state titles. And like I said, it's just not going to happen overnight. But I give him credit for starting those seniors. I just like the versatility of his son, and I just like how unselfish his son is. And look, I'm on the McDonald's All-American Committee, full disclosure. Nice pass.
Triple try no good, but Cam Ward there on offensive rebound. Putback is good. What a half of basketball for Cam Ward, who has 16.
Right, and he's not, and that was my point. Sometimes you go to games and like the stars are taking bad shots or forcing stuff.
Oh, 3 on the answer right before the buzzer. Ryan Keenan knocks it down. And my goodness, what a 16 minutes of action here at DeMatha High School.
When you talk about really good players these days, you have to mention their grassroots programs because that's part of that's how it rolls these days. I want to see Vic do a little more if the Patriots are going to win this game. But Largo, and they are young. They have no seniors, Brent, on the Largo team right now starting.
On the court here at DeMatha High School for the Capital Hoops Challenge, a basketball day in the DMV. Great teams, terrific talent. And we've got a full slate, a quadruple header here of high school hoops on NBC Sports Washington. Patriot inside. Sean Johnson and the Patriot Pioneers in the all-red, while Largo with the home team, they're wearing the white uniforms and the blue trim.
It's a great pass by Coleman to Vic. You know, look, I've coached a long time. Coach Rivers knows this too. He says in the locker room, hey, fellas, we got to get Vic going. If we're going to win this game, we got to get Vic going. They got Cam Ward going. It's nice we're balanced, but we all got to get Vic going. That was a nice pass by him.
Andre King gets it to fall off balance shot. By the way, you talk about Isaiah Vick, and I think you mentioned it earlier, nephew of Michael Vick. Certainly a lot of talent in that family. And he averages about 9 points a ball game, junior forward, and he is highly recruited. Boston College interested in Vic. And the knockdown shot from outside is Andre King, the sophomore.
You got to, look, King's a real player. You got to like the way he plays. He's a really good football player, too. He just, has that game. See, there goes Vic. I like this. See, Coach Rivers, he's saying, we got to get Vic going. Vic, by the way, his dad does a podcast with Michael Vick. And Vic also, Isaiah Vick, talks to his uncle, Michael Vick, at least once a week, he said. And you know what's interesting is the Pioneers, you can tell, they don't really mind who scores. They're used to, Coach Rivers has put in a system where it's going to be share the ball. And here's Vic just showing it. Great pass here, though, by Coleman. You can tell that the Pioneers are set up where it doesn't matter who scores. And Largo, I'm not saying they're not set up as well. They're younger. but they got to go through Cam Ward to win this game. Cam Ward's going to have to lead them to win it, to a victory, but the Patriot Pioneers, they're more balanced. They can go any direction they want.
Vic's got 4. Let's go down to Jordan, who has more on this high school star.
Hey guys, don't let the tunnel vision of the focus of this Patriot squad fool you, because this Patriot squad is just packed with personality off the court. But one guy in particular that keeps things loose on this team, I heard you talking about him a little bit earlier, that's Isaiah Vick. Check out some of these viral TikTok videos we were able to pull from his TikTok, just busting out all of the moves. You got to keep things light and fun, right?
Oh, yeah, and he's very popular on that social media platform. And Coach Rivers told us this team is a loose team, and that they do really enjoy playing with each other and the process. And, again, that's a young team, so it is a lot of fun that they have. And I think Isaiah Vick, you can see the moves. I think I've seen those dance moves from Coach Patsos every now and again.
Yeah, well, sometimes when we were late nights in Georgetown back in the day, we
was listening to the huddle.
About the
Sorry, yeah, no worries.
Are you on? Anyways, what's interesting here about Coleman is him and Vic were kind of quiet in the first half, and they've come out. This is a sign of a great Coach Rivers, and his father's is helping him out over there. Hey, we're balanced, but we need you two to do more. And they've come out and inserted themselves. Oh, a little full court pressure by the
and
Patriot
turnover.
Pioneers leads to a turnover.
Oh, what a great pass from Coleman inside the hoop and the harm.
I love when
Isaiah Vick on the finish.
Yeah, no, Brent, sorry. I mean, I get so excited. I love when a guy like Coleman, who I kind of had circled and question marked, comes right out and proves me wrong and says, no, Coach, I'm just a second-half guy. He has made great passes. He's in the press. That's a really good adjustment by Coach Rivers.
Nazir Coleman, point guard, all-state performer a season ago, leads this team in assists, also scores about 11.5 points a ball game. And he's the leader, really, of this Patriot Pioneers squad. Inside and high off the glass. Gets it to fall as Jalen Johnson. My goodness, 40-40 here in the third.
Yeah, they got that's twice they've got guys for pushing off. And I actually like that call. You know, in the NBA, it's become an offensive game, so people tend to say, oh, that's a block or this. It is. When you extend your arm, the referee makes the right call. We're just going the other way. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been quite a battle back and forth here. It's been a tremendous game to watch.
Keep an eye on the defensive pressure on Cam Ward, because head coach Sherman Rivers has switched up defense a little bit. Isaiah Vick started this half on Ward. Now it's back to Jay Randall, but giving him different looks. Inside of the finish for Christian Ware, the freshman.
And see, Ware, we've talked about how the feel he has. Reminds me when Dutch Morley played here as a youngster. Some great point guards here at Tamatha. He's a young guy playing Ware, but he's got a good feel for the game. But there goes Coleman right back at him. And as you said, he's their leader. And I was remiss in not mentioning him in the first half. He has really shown, you're correct, Brent, why he's the leader and why he also averages 11 points a game.
We've seen the vision from Coleman, but he could also knock down the long-range shot. The senior point guard, just look how calm, cool, collected, and then collecting the triple.
Yeah, and that's the poise you're looking for, you know, out of your point guard. And like I said, losing in the top of that program. He played balanced. The goal they have.
Offensively, and he talked about Cam Ward being the best player in the DMV, and that you have to make every possession very difficult. And the missed foul shot there from Jared Mobley. Talking about a team of the Pioneers from Virginia, Largo, of course, PG County. What a backdoor cut and a finish for Caden Bates. But, Coach, how much in a matchup like this does bragging rights come into it, right? Virginia against Maryland, the DMV, and these are two terrific programs.
Yeah, and like I talked about the you know, from the out-of-town teams coming, how bad they want to come here, and the reputation of the DMV around the country. Then there's the inner, you know, inside the real rivalries, which is local. You know, it's always local, regional, national. But for these guys, I think it means more to the Pioneers just because they're so new. Like Largo's a household name, just have been around a long time, PG County basketball. I also think Maryland has a slight edge over Virginia. just because of the University of Maryland's right here, DeMatha's here. It's just, this is a chance for Virginia to say, and hey, T.C. Williams, I coached Anthony Winbush, great player. There's been so many to mention from West Springfield. I don't even want to go to the Christy Winters Grand Hill days, okay, down in Northern Virginia. And Red Jenkins was a guy. But Maryland's had a little bit of a slight edge. So I would say that this is a big deal for the Patriot Pioneers, but most importantly because they've only been around for 11 years and they want to win a state title.
Jalen Johnson checking back in for Largo. Good to see that young man back on the court because he left holding his ankle and foot there a few minutes back. And things got a little testy there before that last inbound. And Cam Ward doing a nice job, only a sophomore, but look at the leadership, Jimmy, just calming down his teammate, Christian Ware. Not only teammate, but good friend. These two grew up together, but just saying, hey, look, there's more to this, and we can see it on the replay. And Christian Ware gets kind of pushed back there and falls down, and cooler heads prevailing, which is great to see as well.
Yeah, it's Ware versus Hopkins. Hey, Brent, you're the one that started this 2 minutes ago. You talked about the rivalry and the bragging rights, and they are right across the Potomac River, but they hear about each other, and everybody says, oh, he's got this reputation, and they're really good, and they were 26-1, and we're young. And Ware, I like how Ware kind of runs the team. It's obviously Cam Ward's team because he does a little of everything, but now I'm starting to see with the huddle up and Ware in transition and watching him come out in the second half, it's really tough as a freshman to have that kind of poise, and he does. And that's the only bad thing right here from a basketball perspective of trying to win the game is you were just up 3. You were just up 3 points, and it was your ball if you're the Pioneers. And look, I got technicals a lot. That was a Red Auerbach thing. We used to go to lunches. In other words, people forget about it in the first half. That's a 2-point swing, and Largo gets the ball back. So while you like the feistiness, you got to use your head and say we're trying to win this game. And now Largo has the lead.
Within seconds, Cam Ward knocks down a couple of foul shots and then gets the reverse lay-in, and Largo with a lead at 46-45. Very costly technical, and now the Lions are running to the rim, and the foul is called.
And yeah, as you said, Brenda, that wasn't just point differential. That's also emotional and kind of momentum-wise. And here they go. See, here's Ward. They go down. They're down 3, and the other team has the ball. Now they're up 1 and shooting 2 free throws, and that might be an intentional. I like hard fouls, but they can go to the monitor in high school. They go to the monitor everywhere. Hey, the NFL, NBA, NCAA, well, they go in high school too.
Ward got by Vic on the baseline for that beautiful play to give the Lions the lead here at 46-45 with 3:22 left in the third quarter. And take a closer look at the Largo Lions, who come into this game 9-5 out of Upper Marlboro, Maryland, PG County. And their motto, heart, loyalty, and commitment. I like that from head coach Rodney Ward. And he talked about developing this team and making them better almost practice so they wouldn't look too far ahead. And he said the excitement from on NBC Sports Washington.
Yeah, it's so exciting. Like I said, that's a big-time regional broadcast. The Wizards are playing the Magic tonight. Hey, this is a big-time deal being on the station. I'm glad he told them Thursday, not Friday, because my guys, when I coached, they would have said, Coach, we got to go to the barber. We got to get my new shoes. It's a different world out there. They're excited about being on TV, but you got to get ready. So we gave them an extra day. But as you said, there were little nerves early, but I feel like all that's gone, Brent. It feels right now it's just a competitive game. That's a lot on the line, but I don't feel the nerves I felt in the first few minutes.
2-point game, Largo, 47-45. Pioneers with the ball. What a vision and a pass inside to Caden Bates. But you got to credit Nazir Coleman, who just, I'm not sure how he even saw underneath Bates wide open there.
Coleman's just had a tremendous second half. He's really come out here and showed why he's the leader of this team.
Threading the needle. Outside shot. Ware. No good. Fight for the rebound. And it's going to go back to the Pioneers.
See, that's the unselfishness. But Bates knew to cut to the basket, too. A lot of guys, they think the shot's going up. Maybe I go to the glass. But he knew to cut and have his head up because he knows Coleman's a willing passer. Another nice pass right there. See, if I was Vic, I'd go right into my move. He's taken too long with his move there.
Patriots with 14 assists in this game. Largo with 12. And That last assist was spectacular. It was the ball fake that really sold it.
Yeah, he looked like he was going to shoot it, and then he just threw it underneath for the layup. See, Vic, there you're playing against Ward. He's a high major recruit for a reason. You gotta trust that Coleman gave you the ball. In other words, my point guard gave me the ball for a reason. You know, Mike Lonergan was my point guard when I was in college. If he threw it to me there, that meant I was open. So just go up and take your shot. We played for Jack Bruin at Catholic U, who started his career as an assistant at DeMatha for Morgan Wooten. Oh,
They're
not sure about
the
that
travel
one.
and extra step.
Didn't really get that one.
Coleman got all the way to the rim, but got called on the whistle there for the extra. Picking up the pivot foot.
Yeah, that would have been an and one tonight at 7 o'clock when the Magic are playing the Wizards, that's for sure. But, look, it's a tie game. You know, if I'm a referee, so what, you made a bad call. It's a tie game, plenty of ball left. Just go down the other end and get a stop.
Final 2 minutes here in the third quarter.
And we are going to talk about...
Shot clock inside 10.
Yeah, it's funny, Brett. I was just going to say it's the first time the shot clock's kind of been a factor here.
Ward misses the three. Offensive board thrown out and can't be saved. Nice effort there from Christian Ware, but it'll go back to the Patriot Pioneers.
Yeah, King did a good job getting that rebound. You just, once again, you want to just go up and score. You're probably going to get fouled to score an offensive rebound, but coming up, Rob Garner, who played for Mike Bray, announced his retirement at Notre Dame. He's going to finish the season. Coach Bray, fantastic player in high school, Montgomery County, played at GW. Well, he helped DeMatha become a legendary national power. Sure, Coach Wooten gets all the credit as he should, but he's had some tremendous assistants. Jack Bruin, Joe Mahalik. I mean, there's so many guys, but nobody bigger than Mike Bray. Mike Bray, oh, look at that block. Wow.
Big rejection underneath Isaiah Vick. Climbing the ladder to send it out into the...
That's why Rivers is a good coach. He's got them asserting themselves in the second half. But, you know, when you walk in this gymnasium, the history and the assistants count. Mike Bray helped get Danny Ferry to Duke. You know, Johnny Dawkins played there. Of course, Red Jenkins had Tommy Amico play there. Mike Bray was instrumental in Duke getting all those national titles up there. And he's a wonderful man and a great guy. And he just announced his retirement. Well, it all started here with him teaching history and coaching at DeMatha.
Abahim. Sorry, Jared Mobley can't get that one to fall. Rebound goes to the Pioneers. I was fortunate, Jimmy, my first job down on the Eastern Shore. We covered Delaware. Mike Bray was the head coach. And Mike Bray, just a Cub rookie reporter, Mike Bray treated me as if I was a seasoned veteran. Just an awesome guy, wonderful man, and one of the great college coaches. And as you mentioned, stepping down after this year at Notre Dame. All the best to Mike Bray, because he represents what college basketball is all about.
Yeah, he sure does, by the way. That was Sean Johnson, because remember this, too. That wasn't Jalen
right.
Johnson. That was Sean Johnson hitting a three to put Largo up 2. You can't say enough great things about Mike Bray. Oh, look at this move. See, that's tough.
Vic showing it and then knocking it down.
That's why Boston College is recruiting him, folks, in the ACC.
He might be a TikTok star on social media. He's a big
floater. That mental reason was an impressed me game.
Backcourt down. Scoop. Points, and Vic and Randall have been switching off on Cam Ward. And that is Vic right there, back in Ward down. Scoop and score.
Right, Bill Russell there. Bill Russell going against Will. I'm serious, that's what Bill Russell, and I'm from Boston. Bill Russell, Will was as dominating as it could be for his reasons of being so strong. I mean, Russell kind of had this smooth little trickery game, and that's what Vic just showed there.
Let's check in with Jordan down courtside. It was just in the Largo team huddle.
Hey guys, yeah, just listening in here. The message after that intense third quarter, it's simple. Coach Ward telling his team, guys, let's finish. Don't worry about the clock either. Despite having the top prospect in the state of Maryland and plenty of talent, they're being tested against this very experienced Patriot squad. We'll see how things shake out here in the fourth.
Yeah,
51-49, a two-point game. And last night, Jimmy, this Largo team had a 45-point win against Crossland. They're in a tight one here, though.
Yeah, and Coach Ward wants, you don't want enemy winning by 45 is nice. That's not going to happen if you want the state title. But I wanted to double down on what Jordan said. Ward right there, Vic just scored on you. I want to see it a little unselfish. He's almost a little too unselfish.
26.5 points a game, just over 10 rebounds a game, but he also has 4.5 assists a game. We talk about all the things he could do defensively, 3 steals a game, block shots as well. Cam Ward right now matched up against Isaiah Vick defensively. Patriot Pioneers with a basketball to 1-point lead, 51-50, fourth quarter drive.
Tough move there by Randall.
Hoop at the harm.
That's just a little shake and bake, but at the end, that's a strong finish. That's big boy basketball.
8 now for Randall. And fired up the young kid, senior guard. 8 now for Randall. And fired up the young kid, senior guard. (6'3" and 53-50 now. Cam Ward drags the back foot, can't hit the turnaround, and draws the foul.
Yeah, I like that. The referee wanted to see if the ball went in. He was probably going to let it be a play on. He missed. Give him 2 free throws. Ooh, the DeMatha team just walked in here, too. Eton Thomas' son, high recruit out of there. We're going to talk to him tonight at the Wizards.
Yeah, DeMatha is 18-2 on the season. 1. They lost now. They have a 3-point lead with Largo to the foul line. Cam Ward shooting a couple and knocks.
But it's just a nice 2, makes both free throws. Doesn't have to make it too quirky, but you can tell his better days are coming because as he gets stronger, he's got all the rest of the game. That's a tough move right there by Coleman.
Sear Coleman, all-state point guard, knocking down a fall-away jumper. 55-52, Patriot Pioneers here in the fourth quarter. Pressure causes the turnover as Andre King throws it away.
Sometimes you get him to take a bad shot, but pressure over time wears you out. Sometimes they just throw the ball out of bounds. They are running really good sets right now. Ooh, that's a tough one if that goes in. Hopkins has come out. That's his 3rd three, my left-handed Hopkins.
Desmond Hopkins averages 12 points a ball game, and he has been vital today for the Pioneers.
I'm going to tell you right now, if you rewind this, if you're a high school coach and you want to see some really good sets, Coach Rivers has done a good job. I don't know how that's not a travel. Good
timeout. Quick timeout from Largo head coach Rodney Ward on the bench. And back to the triple.
This is a down screen to free up Bates. Now Coleman gets it, shot fakes, lets the guy go by him, takes his time, 1 dribble into a 3. But that was a well-executed play. This is where 5 or 6 points like that great play. But he wants to make sure he runs a good out-of-bounds play. He's got a set there with a double screen. Okay, and King underneath. And now he wants to get a good look, and I like that great play. Tough shot, just didn't go. That's a little slip screen in. Ward just has an 8-footer. It just didn't go. Well executed, though.
6-point lead for Patriot, 58-52 here in the fourth quarter. Ball goes out of bounds, and we'll go back to the Pioneers. No. It's going to go to Largo.
Coach Rivers has that.
A full court.
Steal
and
there.
Picks off.
Play. Good play by there.
Hopkins. Triple try, no good. Follow on the board. Another follow. And Patriot pounding the offensive boards. 8-point lead, 60-52.
Yeah, he didn't have to reach in there. Good tip up here by Randall. Now, this is where I can see Coach Rivers over there, and I'm sure Jordan's watching really closely, too, and can see this, that every time they get up 6 or 8, can they put him away? What a tip here. See, first he threw. But here, Randall gets the hand on it, just tips it nice and calmly in. Every time it's been 6 or 8, and you saw Coach Rivers' frustration before, every time they get up 6 or 8, they can't seem to put him away. Well, here comes Largo.
And give Jay Randall a lot of credit there for the Pioneers because he has been putting in a lot of work on the boards here this morning. Leads the team in rebounds and doing it again today. He's got 6 boards. And that was a big putback on that last possession. Hopkins to the rim, draws the foul. I think this one is going to go against Ward.
I'm coming out. Look, full disclosure.
It's going to be his second.
Hopkins, Randall, these are guys I'm going to call a lot of coaches and say these are these guys you got to recruit. Because remember, people forget about there's the big boys and then there's the region. There's 8 Ivy League schools. Guys are great. There's 10 Patriot League schools. There's the NEC. There's the MAC. There's the Horizon. There's the CAA. And guys have shown me today, especially Randall and Hopkins coming out, A, they know how to play. B, they're really good players. You know, you're talking about making shots. You're talking about doing a lot of little stuff. And that's our job, you know, as we fill out our forms and we send out tweets and texts. These guys are going to play. These guys are going to be college players.
Desmond Hopkins now has 10 3-3-pointers and that last foul shot. And Patriot has an 8-point lead here, 61-53. They've got the ball as well in the all-red to the rim and missed by Caden Bates.
Yeah, he was almost too wide open. I didn't think he'd be that wide open.
Difficult lay-in, going to the rack. And with a nice finish, Sean Johnson for Largo, and down to 6 and a timeout on the court. Sherman Rivers calls the TO.
Yeah, I like the timeout. See, what a pass by Ward. One-handed little bounce pass. Nice finish in there by Johnson. Coach Rivers, once again, he said, we're up 8 and we have a wide-open layup. And I was being serious. Sometimes you're so open, you think someone's going to come block it. Nobody's there, so you short-arm it. He's up 8 with a layup. Take over.
It's to about sure their
ball up if you're Largo.
Patriot huddle and send it down to Jordan. Jordan.
Hey guys, over on the Patriot sideline, they're just tapping into their whole mantra, which is leave no doubt. Bottom line from Coach Rivers, got to close this one out. No other options. Prioritize stops and take care of the basketball. Back to the basics and fundamentals for Patriot High.
Off the missed 3-pointer from Hopkins, Ward has it. Ward taking it to Vic to the rim and rolls in.
And this is why they're not going away, and it's a 4-point game. And that was a well-executed. Now here's the full-court pressure. See, it's a 1-2-1 diamond press. And you got Ward up there, and that's what that leads to. See, you got to be, oh, there's a dunk.
Johnson over to Ward for the throwdown.
And another steal.
And another one. To the rim, King. Hoop. And count the foul. My goodness.
Hey, Brent.
Things turned in a hurry, Jimmy.
Brent asked me if I miss coaching now. That would be a no. Because, look, Ward gets the bucket. As we said, we knew he was going to. This is why it's tough being. I meant that as a joke. But like Coach Rivers told these guys, we got to put them away. Well, Ward gets a bucket. Ward gets a dunk. Now there's a steal, and King gets the N1. That was a steal off the inbounds pressure. And now it's a tie game. 1 minute ago, they had a layup to go up 10. They have to take advantage of that. Now they're going to be down 1. Those are 3 times Coach Ward and the Largo Lions. And they come back in a hurry. They score in bunches, and that's because they're willing to press.
9-0 run. Largo Lions. 1-point lead, and you can see how close it has been. 5 ties, 6 lead changes. Late fourth quarter, 3-pointer, no good. High for the rebound is Isaiah Vick, and a foul called on the floor.
Great look by Coleman, didn't go.
Ball game, and Vick
with this young Largo team.
This has been a fun one to watch. High pressure. And he ties it up here, 62-62, 3:22, fourth quarter.
And a little, it's like a token full-court pressure by the Pioneers, just to not let Patriot High School get. What they wanted to do was make sure. Ooh, I thought they might have gone up and down there. Yeah,
he did hit the floor. So they'll call it
once again. See, young coaches, I hope you're listening. Full court pressure, even though they didn't trap, caused that play to happen because Largo had to work to get the ball up, and they can't just throw it to Ward. You know, because once the ball's in his hand, something good's going to happen.
And we'll see how this turns out late game. But Largo, a very young team. They start 2 freshmen and 2 sophomore. Ward and King, the only returning starters. So very young squad against a team with a little more experience. To the rim, no good. And the follow is there for Andre King.
King just does all this little stuff. You know, he's just, you know, look, you go back on your notes.
He's a sophomore, plays like a senior.
Yes,
and we know how good he is on the football field, but it translates on the basketball court as well.
And Coach Ward couldn't rave about him last night on the phone. Talking to him on the phone, and, you know, his son's a great player. We want to talk about that kind of stuff and the history of Largo, but he couldn't wait to talk about King and his football recruiting and the things he does. And as he said, he does a lot of the dirty work that doesn't show up, and you're seeing it right here. It wasn't just a steal, and it wasn't just a bucket there. You can tell he gives them a toughness, you know, and that's why they're never out of the game.
Whistle on the floor and a violation there on the lane, and so Nazir Coleman would get another shot.
Sometimes that's a problem with a young team. So things are going well your way. You don't want to do anything to change the momentum, and then stepping in the lane, tie game.
And Coleman now has 10 to go along with his 8 assists.
Now the Pioneers were going to run and jump. They were going to try to steal that.
Corner. Triple. Tries. Good. Sean Johnson with a three-pointer.
Both Johnsons with their numbers changed with the new uniforms have certainly helped.
And a travel against Coleman, a three-point lead.
And broke the press. You know, those two guys, and like I said, they got brand new numbers. Well, it's worked out because they're unsung heroes. The two Johnsons at the 4 and 5, that's breaking the press. That's because of press.
Johnson and let's get more from Jordan, who was down there listening in to the team.
Hey guys, yeah, Patriots head coach Rivers, is really drilling into his guys that every single one of them right now want to be the guy with the basketball. You got to get back to playing that selfless version of basketball that they know they're capable of.
Another corner three, and another one is knocked down. I mean, talk about some clutch shooting late in this game for Sean Johnson.
He's zoned here, but he did it. He wanted to see really good coaching by Ward. Go up 6. Okay, we'll take the pressure off. We'll get a stop, but no.
Strong take from Jay Randall, the senior guard. Gets to the rim and cuts into the Largo lead. It's 4 now, 70-66. And Jimmy, you made the point. Just, it seemed like minutes ago, Patriot had a chance to go up by 10. All of a sudden, this big Largo run, and now the Lions holding to a 4-point lead. Things changed in a hurry here in the.
But that please, that he just made one dribble not to get a stop time. Ward just missed
here, Jimmy, and just a little dribble drive and kick out, just giving Johnson enough space to knock the first one down. And here's the second.
Yeah, and see, like when you're wide open, look, that's off the catch. But I don't really know there's that much more that the Pioneers could have done. That was good defense. He's got poise, and he's making the open shot. All right, they run the down screen, but it's really to get where the ball. It's probably be a ball screen from Ward here. So it's a two-man game.
Final minute, shot clock under 10, all the way to the rim, and a finish. My goodness, Christian Ware, the freshman.
Speaking of DC players,
nerves.
That's like Sherman Douglas with the show and go back to the left-hand lane. Remember Sherman Douglas? That's a block. Yep.
Sherman Douglas, of course, went on to play at Syracuse.
Spingarn High School to Syracuse. If they show the highlight, he'd bring it behind his back. You thought he was going to dump it, and then he goes and scores. And watch, see a little show and go. With his left back to his right-hand scoop. That is a high degree of difficulty, and that's a freshman for those of you
and that's
just
a freshman
joining us.
Taking a senior to the rim there in that moment, and then Cam Ward.
You know, you can't fault Ward's effort. He tried to take a charge there.
He's got 3.
Now he's going to make Hopkins earn it from the line. They can cut it back here to 4. But with 50 seconds left, the Pioneers, and as Jordan said, known for their defense, they're going to have to get a stop.
They don't have to force anything again with the shot clock here now at high school, which is it's a great rule change over the years here.
Absolutely fantastic. Now, they could have trapped there. Now you've let it go down to 20. I wouldn't foul. Ooh, tough shot.
Taking it back. Cam Ward gets the offensive rebound. That was huge. And back into the hands of Christian Ware, the point guard who is fouled by Coleman.
Coach Rivers is going to look back and the Pioneers have been tremendous today, but there's been a couple key possessions, including that rebound they didn't get. And if they want to go win that state title, you got to come up with that rebound.
Extends the lead out to 5, and now makes it 6. The youngster hits both foul shots. 31 seconds left. It's a 6-point game. 74-68 Largo. And Coleman quickly to the basket and a timeout.
Yeah, Coleman, smart senior, better than his position. In other words, they're just going to let them score. Maybe pull up who's going to pro level the last couple minutes.
And for Largo, it is tough defensively because it is so balanced for Patriot. They have all 5 of their starters have scored in double figures here this morning, and they can go to any 5 in a must-have bucket situation. And they need a turnover right now. Largo with the ball, 4-point lead, and they throw it away.
And they get it.
My goodness, the defensive pressure was put on there by the senior Nazir Coleman. Ball thrown away and back to the Pioneers.
And Coleman's just been great to watch today. Look, he's almost like he's a two guard, but also like a point guard. See, he's got a lot of combo guards, which I like. But that's just a great defensive play because the ball doesn't move. Vic goes inside, gets fouled. That was a foul.
Draws the foul. Cam Ward whistled.
And like
that's going to be Cam Ward's fourth, by the way.
And that was a foul. But like I said, there's a difficult situation for Largo as a young team. You know, what kind of defense do I play? Do I foul? Well, the problem was they couldn't get it in pressure set. That's pressure set is a term used. That's the set against pressure. In other words, big free throw. The Pioneers came out. Not only did they get the ball back, they got it underneath out of bounds, and no time ran off the clock. That's going to be a learning, teaching situation for Largo as they go for their third state title under Coach Ward.
Isaiah Vick at team-high 16, a 2-point game, 74-72. A lot of pressure, knocked out of bounds by Vick. And you can see, by the way, Andre King, who's bringing it in out of bounds, calling for some help. He needs his teammates to assist a little bit here.
Well, the Pioneers are going 5-on-4. You see, they don't have anybody on the ball. Well, it could have almost been a foul on Wood. Now they're going to run and jump.
Ooh, that knocked and
steal.
Patriot comes back up with it. Coleman. Yep. Inside and a whistle. My goodness. Is that going to be on Cam Ward? Because if it is, that is going to be his fifth.
What a game. I'm telling you, this is a great game to watch, and that's not because I'm with you, Brent.
Unbelievable.
In other words, so here's another teaching lesson, okay? You don't want to compound your mistake. You're the best player. Hey, let him score. I'm not fouling because I have 4 fouls. I'm the best player because the worst it's going to do is be a tie game. We'll have the last shot. Now, you got to give the Patriot Pioneers credit for making these free throws.
Cam Ward is out, 26 points in this ball game. Also had 18 rebounds. And head coach Rodney Ward, by the way, right, that's his son, right, his oldest son. You got to play dad and coach at the same time there. Tough moment for that youngster, Cam Ward, fouling out of this ball game. Tied at 74. Final 10 seconds. And short on the shot is Christian Ware, and a timeout. And we'll see where they set the clock at here, Jimmy, because the timeout was called in the final second. I don't have that up.
If you look, Drill, they used to help. Let's
this game. What kind of player we run?
I like the Valpo play. Remember Valparaiso? Yep. In other words, you throw it to a guy who kicks it to a guy who's running to it. In other words, oh, that's tough. He touched it. Yeah, going overtime. I want Vic to catch. I want Vic to catch that and see if he can get it to Coleman or Bates for a quick three. Because they're going to run to the ball. You got to catch it clean. You got to almost instantaneously volleyball it.
74. Cam Ward, the superstar sophomore for Largo, fouling out in this ball game. And so we'll put 4 minutes on the clock and see if we can come up with a winner. But what a finish for Patriot there to force the OT.
Yeah, and they're running their offense with a 1-4 high set. And it's interesting, without Ward, all of a sudden the Pioneers look a lot bigger and older. You know, just because, Ward's such a dominant physical player, but he's also, really smart. All of a sudden, what a reverse lay. He has really been good. Randall, I'm telling you, this guy's going to be a good player in college. His better days are ahead.
2-game set. Randall and Vic doing such a great job, the two of them down there on the block.
Nice drive by King. He's just tough. He's just trying to tough it out. Randall and Vic, you got a 5 and a 4 man that have more size. And Ward's fouled out of the game.
And all the way to the rim is Coleman. And you make a great point, Jimmy, because without Cam Ward, you lose some size for Largo there underneath.
Yeah, and like I said, Cam Ward, for all his physical talents, and there are many, I loved his mental approach. I loved his patience and his poise. Sometimes he scored, but he led passes, took a charge. Oh, that's a tough one.
6 quick points for Patriot coming out to start the overtime in an 80-74 lead.
Coach Ward might want a timeout to make sure. See, you got to get a good look. You got both Johnsons are good. Left-handed 25 can make shots, 23, Sean Johnson. See, they're not getting the balls to the Johnsons right now.
defense into offense, and drawing a foul underneath. Isaiah Vick will go to the foul line. And my goodness, how things have changed after Cam Ward fouled out, and the energy certainly picked up for Patriot.
Yeah, and that's the senior leadership that they have, and that's being 26-1 last year. Whereas Coach Ward, I don't mind that Ward fouled out. Look, it was a tough play. But if it's a state title, you got to let him score because we'll be got to time and score. You got to look at the scoreboard and see how much time's left. Ward shouldn't have fouled because it would have been a tie game and he still would have been in the game. But now, that's a quick 8-point turn. But you got to get Johnson and Johnson the ball. You got to get either one of them the ball right now, in my mind, if you're Largo.
It has been all Patriot here in the OT. And cutting into that lead, Christian Ware knocks down the jumper. So 6-point lead with 2 minutes left here in overtime, 82-76, the Patriot Pioneers.
I'm not sure they had to foul there. I like Ware. Ware's showing me I'm wrong. Good for him. He said, Coach, I'll show you and take this to the basket. This guy's a freshman. He's a true freshman. And I said this before. Ware and Ward, they're like real freshmen and sophomores. In other words, in today's world, there's a lot of reclassing and older guys. These guys are true freshmen and sophomores. You wait to see how good they get. You know, when they get stronger and they hit the summer circuit, you can tell physically that the Patriot Pioneers are a little more mature. But the Patriot Pioneers' ability to hit free throws, whatever Coach Rivers is doing, they have been fantastic here in the last 2 minutes of the game in the overtime of converting.
Coleman has hit 6 of 9 foul shots in this ball game. 3-pointer from outside, no good, and rebound goes to Patriot. It was Christian Ware, the freshman, that missed the long-range shot. 83-76.
Yeah, I want my point guard. I know he's got to sort of take over. This is where we're not having Cam Ward. Like you said, he facilitates. It's just the Pioneers are just running great offense. They're going to call a charge there, but they ran a really good triple screen on the baseline with a curl. If I'm Coach Ward, you can use this to teach Ware. Even though Cam Ward's out, you don't got to do it all yourself. You know, can't get you a bucket.
All in and out. Unfortunate balance for Christian Ware. By the way, Jay Randall on that charge out of the game, his 5th foul.
And if it was a close game, that would be a loss for the Pioneers. But since they're up 7 right now, they're going to run the clock. See, they're just going to take their time. Nice move.
Just a beautiful hesitation to the rim for Desmond Hopkins.
Hopkins is good left-handed. He hit a couple threes in the first half. Now he's taking the ball. This is, once again, I told you before, this is big boy basketball. That's why he's a senior. That's why he's a bigger guy. And Largo's going to learn from this. That was really good play right there.
Lefty now has 16 and a chance to add to it at the foul line to complete a 3-point play.
Yeah, I always love having a lefty on my team, you know, so you can tell the other guys on the team play defensively. It's hard to guard a left-handed guy when you're right-handed. You just got used to it.
Largest lead of the game, 10 points for Patriot out of Virginia, 86-76, and it has been all Pioneers here in this extra frame. And they've got the ball, the lead in the final minute here in the OT.
Look, I lost in the overtime by 1. I was at Siena to the NCAA against Iona. Sometimes going into the overtime, it can go back and forth like a 1-point game. I've also won an overtime, as you said, by a bunch. And the end of the game, that momentum for the Patriot Pioneers, and Coach Rivers used that, plus Ward not being out there. Come on, Brent. Me and you played this game. We've been around a long time. If you're the Patriot Pioneers and you walk out, and their All-American sophomore Cam Ward's not out there, you got to feel a little bit of confidence, and that's what's happened in this overtime.
12-point lead, 88-76. And how impressed are you, Jimmy, of when you look at this Patriot team and having all 5 starters in double figures, just the balance that Sherman Rivers has with this squad?
You know, really good balance, really good leadership, and he's got a lot of talent, too. Tough 3 there.
It's a needed 3 for Jared Mobley, but the lead's still 9 out.
From that state title, a 3-4 was starting when you don't have your best play. State title aspirations, and they're very realistic. Today was a fantastic experience. You both use it as a learning tool, but then you got to go back and take care of business in your own region.
Leave no doubt has been head coach Sherman Rivers' motto this season for this team, to get back and get maybe another regional title. Go back to the States and a finish there. Isaiah Vick, and he has just been terrific. That junior forward to the rim, and that should seal it here today. And I would say that this team has left no doubt against a very good Largo Lions squad.
Yeah, it's a great. They learned today, and that's why Vicky's on. He's a DC premier young man, as we said. Grassroots basketball's involved with all these young players at this level. What I really like right there was that the Patriot Pioneers weren't afraid to throw it long. You know, in other words, everybody ran up, then they threw it long, then they got a layup and one. You know, when you attack pressure, you can't do what the defense wants, which is to throw it in the corner.
21 for Isaiah Vick, leading the way for the Pioneers. As we had mentioned earlier, Isaiah Vick, the nephew of the great Michael Vick.
And they communicate weekly.
And he was a terrific basketball player as well, down in that Newport News area of Virginia.
Of course he was. The same way that AI was a great football player.
He was. And I think Allen Iverson was a quarterback, if I'm not mistaken. Ball, no good.
This is a tough loss for Largo to look at the scoreboard because they played so well. But they have so much to be proud of, and their future's really bright, and I expect to see them in March playing for a state title, too.
Final seconds here, tick it away as the Patriot Pioneers get the win 91-79 in overtime in our first of 4 here on NBC Sports Washington today. A huge day of basketball, and